Hey guys, this is amazing. This is what a turnout. Look at this booth, by the way. This is a fantastic booth over here at Spin Master at GenCon. Guys, this is a game that us here at Comic Book, we have been very excited for. I personally have been like marking the days on the calendar and being very like having a ton of FOMO. For our international friends who have had to play this game for so long, and now it's finally coming here to the States. So this is amazing. Obviously, you designed this. This is number one. I didn't know it was your first Gen Con.
Yeah, this is my first Gen Con and first time in the United States also.
Oh my God! Wow, this is like a triple threat for you because
it's amazing. And the first place I visited while in the States was a comic book store.
Of course. Number one, the experience, I imagine if it's a first Gen Con, that's got to be a pretty surreal thing. But then to have a game that is forming lines around the block, this has got to be a pretty cool thing. Just to take a step back real quick, how did the idea of the game and everything come together? When did you start putting this idea down and now it's this final product?
Yeah, it's been a long journey on this. The game was released in Brazil in 2020. It was my first game released, actually. I had other games signed but not released, but this was the first one, and I was very happy for that because it's something. It's a game about something I really love: comic books. I've been collecting comic books since I was a kid, and we had the opportunity to create Marvel games, Marvel-themed games. We made a proposal for Marvel in Brazil, Disney Brazil. And they really loved what we were proposing, and we started working on that. And this was a huge success there. And when we had this opportunity, the first idea that came to my mind was thinking a game about collecting comic books. I had already this game in my mind for some years, but not with the Marvel team, using public domain comics. One day I found the Comic Digital Museum. There's a website that you have a lot of classic Golden Age comics that are public domain now. And I was looking to the comics and I started saving some covers and say, well, this would make a game. And then I started thinking about a game. And the game I was thinking at the time I discovered that was really similar to a game a friend of mine was just releasing, which was Matryoshka, a game from Sergio Halaban. And I said, oh, Sergio already did this game, so I'll have to put this back in the drawer, and maybe one day I'll come back to it. And when we had this opportunity with Marvel, I thought, I'm going to get that game back and rework on it, so it's not the same game as Sergio. And when I started reworking, it was a joy I started researching for which comics would be in the game, and it was amazing because I revisited all the Marvel story and history through that, and that's what the game does. It celebrates the more than 60 years of Marvel story and history, and not just that, also the passion and the love comic book readers have for all these stories. And when I was working on the game, that was what I was thinking about, because it was so much fun to think about that, to arrange that, to design that. So I guess comic book fans will also like the game because I'm having fun right now. So, and I also had a thought of this game should work with non-comic fans also. So because I wanted the game to appeal to a broader audience, and I thought this game should be welcoming for not just new gamers, but for comic book readers that don't usually play board games and all this stuff. So the way the game works, you start learning simple ideas of the game, and through the game you visit places to get your comics, and on each place you learn a new way to get the comics. So it's kind of a tutorial. You can learn while playing, and that was the feedback I got when I was playtesting. Comic book readers, they were amazed, and people who did not know anything about comic books and Marvel, they were also engaging in the game. They gave me good feedback. So I must be in a good path here. And when the game was released, it was amazing. The reception in Brazil was awesome. We got some awards there, the Brazilian awards we have for board games, and everybody was very, very happy with this reaction we got. And we got an international attention also. The Dice Tower people, Mike Deliciu, Tom Vassell, the guys, they loved the game, and we started talking how can we bring this to the United States? Because at the time, the publisher in Brazil, they had the license for just 1 year. So we had a small print run there of 2,000 copies. First for 1,000, then another one for 1,000. And then the license, they didn't renew the license, so the game was out of print. People were in the United States were paying like $100, $150 for a copy because it was very rare. Yeah, that's the comic book market.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And we were very happy because talking to the Dice Tower, we managed to find a way, and that's where Mike here gets into the scene.
Well, I was gonna say that's perfect. That's a perfect segue because like he said, this game has kind of been circulating for a minute. And, like, people have heard about it. People have played second, third-hand copies, and everyone was like, "Oh man, like, why can't we get over here?" How did Spin Master kind of? Number one, I imagine Spin Master had also been aware of this, and when did the process really start for you guys to kind of bring this finally to where it is now?
Yeah, so we obviously have a lot of big game fans, and we have a fantastic network of inventors and game designers and publishers that we always partner with, right? We have a long history with partnering with other games companies to bring amazing games to market, especially with IP attached to it, right? We've been partners with the Marvel team for a long time, and we had a fantastic opportunity to bring this stateside because we already had that partnership with Marvel. They were so excited to also get this game finally to territories outside of Brazil. And what's amazing about that team at Marvel is they're game fans as well. Amanda Barker, who has been a huge proponent in making this come to life from the Marvel team, was here earlier this week, hanging out, got to meet Robert. They're that big of a fans that they made sure that they're also here and part of this show as well. The story started, we were at the Essen Spiel game show. So we were at Essen a few years back, and through a few different connections between our team and Daryl Andrews and Robert at Arcane Wonders, we all came together because Arcane Wonders, Robert at Arcane Wonders, obviously was tied already to partnering with Comic Hunters, and we were introduced and hit it off, and we started having conversations then. We were handed the only copy that they had on hand in Essen at the time, and we began discussions then, and it's been amazing. Arcane Wonders has been fantastic to partner with as well, and we're so excited about working with them, with Robert, and finally bringing this game to market here.
Well, so excited that now there's not just one, rare copy that has to be protected at all costs. We actually have it here. You guys have been, people are actually walking away with the game, which is wonderful to see. And the game obviously is right here. Can you just walk us through kind of just how kind of the core concepts work and everything?
Well, each card is a comic book. So on each book you have the character icons. So for example, this Civil War here, a classic scene between Captain America and Iron Man. You have both character icons here. You have Captain American icon and Iron Man icon. And all cards are divided in eras. So the most recent cards, they worth less because they're easier to find. So this one worth just 1 in the game. This other one here, it's Incredible Hulk, the John Byrne saga here. It's from the 80s, I guess. Yes, 86. So it worth 2. And this other one here, Black Panther, the first appearance of Killmonger. This is from the 70s. So this one worth 3. So not just that, you also have highlight icons. Why this comic is valuable? It has a high value. This one is because, of course, the great combat here we have. This other one is another great combat. This Hulk versus the Avenger. the Avengers, and this one is the first appearance of Killmonger. So these highlight icons, they will give you points on these tracks here. So every time you get a card that has an icon that is in the game, that is counting on this game, you move your marker on the track. So I have the first appearance of Killmonger, so on the first appearance in track, my token moves 3 spaces because it's from and these tracks, they will give you points depending on your position. If you're the first player on that track, you'll get 15 points. The second one gets 12, and so on. So you wanna plan which game, because you have 5 of these icons. So there are some cards that are not so interesting for the highlight tracks, but maybe they are useful for the hero tracks. You get points for the size of your collection. Each of your collections is of a hero. So you have a Spider-Man collection, a Thor collection, Doctor Strange collection, and at the end of the game you see how many cards do I have in this collection. The more cards you have, the more points you get. Okay, and you also get points for how many hero collections you have. So the more hero collections you have, you get a bonus. This is how you score, and how do you get the cards is the thing everybody's enjoyed, because it's a drafting game, and you have 4 different places where you get cards. You can get cards at a comic book store, at a flea market, you can get cards in an auction site, and also in a convention. So in the comic book store, you only get the most recent comic books, they value just 1. At the flea market, you get the comics that are value 2, and auction site 3. In the convention, you get all comics. You can find 1, 2, or 3. And on each of these places, you have a different drafting mechanic to get the card. So, for example, in the comic book store, it's a simple draft like Sushi Go and 7 Wonders. You get a card, pass the others. Pick a card, pass the others. The flea markets, it's a mechanic very similar to Colorado. The auction sites is a simple action game where you use these tickets here to bid. And in the convention, you have a mechanic. That's the original. The others are all inspired in other games. The convention mechanic is a mechanism created for the game. That you have a grid where you choose a line or a column or a row, and you pick a hero, and you get all the cards of that hero that is in this line, or in this row, or in this column.
Also, I just I love how you showed love to the flea market there. Let's put it the step up. I have found some very nice finds at a flea market. I also just want, personally, I would like points. If points were like attributed in real life to the size of your collection, that would be a wonderful thing. Yeah, because otherwise it's just like, taking up space, and then I read them and it's like, oh, my memories, but there's no points, and I need points. Obviously, you kind of pointed out that you're going to have comics from all eras of Marvel. I love seeing kind of more recent stuff like Civil War in there, and then also like first appearances. And of course, the hero tracker has, I'm seeing a couple of very familiar symbols of heroes. Who are like the main kind of roster of characters in that hero tracker set?
We have 8 characters in the game. So Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk. But on each game there's a different value, because these are tokens. So for this game, Spider-Man comics are the most valuable comics. So, and Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Black Widow are on second tier, and so on. So on the next game you can change this. So Black Panther is the most valuable, and so that changes a lot the synergy of the cards and how the game works, how the game flows. And I was talking to a guy just before this, and he told me he, his wife and his friend, they were playing yesterday, and they played 4 times in a row. They kept changing the characters, and each game was very different. They were thrilled to now Thor is the good one. Let's see how it goes. And the first appearances are given points and all that. And that's exactly what I thought. The game should have a good replayability.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I see, I'm looking, there's some amazing characters there. I don't see a Darkhawk or a cardiac token? I'm imagining it's just not in this set. Maybe this is a prototype, and there's another box somewhere.
Maybe some promo
that has those tokens. Who is your favorite character that you want in that is not like you can go B, C, D list? We're all honest here. We know these characters are a little bit below the A tier. Who is the one, if you could stick any hero in here, who is the one?
Oh man, Nightcrawler is my all-time. But we would love to see some X-Men representation here. Wolverine and Nightcrawler for the win. They're my all-time favorites. Would love to see those guys make an appearance in this game.
Good pick.
Yeah, X-Men are my favorites. The comic book store I just bought X-Men comics. But at the time we created the game, we were developing the game, the X-Men was not yet back to their house. They were still with Fox, and we could not use Fantastic Four and X-Men. But now we are living different times,
different
right,
times
Mike?
now. So we're looking at you, Marvel. Hey, X-Men, we all love them. Let's get them in here.
Well, and that was, I know I got to let you guys go, and this has been fantastic. I want to thank you for the time. That brings me to the last one. It's a perfect segue, because now that we've kind of established this partnership, we're bringing this future, if you guys want to do an expansion or a second standalone or whatever that plan is that like in place now? Like, can that actually happen from both like a practical, legal, everything publishing situation? Is that actually possible now moving forward?
I'll say short answer, yes, right? We have fantastic partnership with Marvel and other companies as well, right? There's other licensors as well. One of the wonderful things about Spin Master is we have an amazing network that we work with all time. That's why we're so thankful to have this opportunity to have this game in the roster now at Spin, is because the sky's the limit now. We have plenty of opportunity how to expand this within the Marvel Universe and beyond, and we couldn't be more excited about that.
And I gotta say, I have some spreadsheets in my computer. They're full of many stuff.
Well, guys, all the best success on this. It's so excited to see so much energy for it. We're obviously huge fans here of comics and making its way. That crossover, that Venn diagram of gaming fans and comic fans is ever widening, and it's amazing to see. So congrats on everything, and can't wait to see what the future holds. And of course, if you can check out all the coverage on this and well as anything else that's coming from Spin Master right here on comicbook.com. Peace.